Mate, I've seen some rough weeks in football during my time, but this is up there with some absolute beautiful calamity. Andre Onana last year was, at times a bit rough on the edges, but in terms of in the league, in the Premier League, he was actually a pretty good shot stopper during our entire Ten Hag Ajax revolution. Mazraoui, De Ligt, Martinez, Onana, Anthony, there's probably others. Onana, like many goalkeepers, have personality. A good goalkeeper should be, I'll be honest, a psychopath. That's what you want your goalkeeper to be. You want him to be so exceedingly overconfident and so exceedingly godlike in terms of how they perceive themselves, where you have pure confidence that they will just be able to maintain themselves. A good example is someone like, let's say, a Jordan Pickford, that in terms of his stature, he may not be a massive goalkeeper, but he's got that ego in him that you just know that he's going to hold himself no matter what. Every great team in the history of football has had a goalkeeper that is somewhat of a psychopath. Where I'm getting at here is that Andre Onana was actually relatively decent for Manchester United last season. In the league anyway. The Champions League was a different story, and I think there's many occasions where he just dropped the ball, literally on many occasions for Manchester United. However, this year, it's not got any better. In terms of the league, he's been, again, inconsistent, and his shot stopping has been really poor, decision making has been poor, and in the main competitions in Europa League, again, he just keeps making these mistakes that is becoming a big problem. So comment down below your thoughts on Andre Onana and how do you see his future at Manchester United. Like, subscribe, and Mazar Designs for the best prints all made by myself. Use code Vizeh for 15% off all items. Let's go. So Onana, previous to this week, was already on edge with some of the Manchester United fan base, where they're not really too sure if he's really got the consistency to really build a team around. Then this week happened. Of course, Lyon, massive game, Europa League. You probably already know what's happened. In a question to Onana before the game, speaking about the big game, he was asked about Lyon, who has won 4 of the last 5 league matches, with Onana saying, "Of course, it's not going to be easy, but I think we are way better than them." The thing is, though, I kind of do feel like what Onana said initially, is it really that bad? Like, he's backing himself, he's backing his team. I kind of think it's overblown a bit too much in terms of what he said. It's just a general throwaway comment in an interview. But, of course, it's been made to be a much more bigger story. Nemanja Matic, Serbian man, probably not going to keep his thoughts to himself, comes back saying, and I'm going to put it in short here, basically saying, "I respect everyone, but shut your mouth." In his actual words, he said, "I respect everyone, but you need to give the answer. If you are one of the worst goalkeepers in Manchester United's history, you need to take care about what you are talking about. If De Gea, Schmeichel or Van der Sar said that, then I would question myself. But you are statistically one of the worst goalkeepers in Manchester United's modern history. He needs to show that before he says it, so we will see." What did we see on that game on Thursday? Jesus, Onana, lad. Before though, I do want to say this, Onana did come out with a response to that. Apologising in a way, saying that I would not be disrespectful to another club. However, he also kind of digged in, saying, "At least I've lifted trophies for the biggest club in the world, some can't say the same." So he's kind of, losing his arse here by apologising, but also firing at Matic at the same time. Of course, that is to Matic, who, during his 4 or 5 years at United, didn't actually win a single trophy at United. No FA Cup, no League Cup, no European competition, no nothing. But then came to the actual game. Onana, he's got to show himself. The entire stadium has got their eyes on him. If he's a mentality monster, this is now the time to show up, mate. They drew 2-2. Lyon's a tough side. However, both goals, you can very clearly say that the goalkeeper had a big hand in both of them. A first one by somewhat of an indirect free kick. It's one of those really awkward positions where it's on the left-hand side, but it's an in-swing, which can be also falling into the back of the net. A lot of pacing by Thiago Almada, a good free kick, and it was misjudged by Onana. No one got their touch in it. No one was really even that near the ball, realistically, and he just did misjudge where the ball was going to be, and he just threw him back of the net after bouncing on the floor. Now, was it an easy claim? No, I'm not going to pretend that I'm a goalkeeper coach here, but again, number one, a goalkeeper at this elite level should probably judge that a bit better, or at least, maybe at least make sure you got something on it. And number two, after the week that he's just had, you best get that ball, lad. United did bring it back. You're with a goal just before half-time, got a little flick on. Xerxes looked like he's won the game for United by a great piece of play, great ball by Bruno Fernandes. Xerxes, 88th minute, United's got the win away in France. Massive, massive result. 95th minute, and it happens again. So this will find some space in the box, and he drives a hard-driven shot down quite low to Onana. Now again, if I play fourth-tier Czech football, right, you expect the keepers at this level to potentially usually scuffle the ball. You always anticipate that they're not going to always catch the ball, because at this level, that's what you expect. And the same thing can be said here. Goalkeepers aren't perfect, but again, in the week you've had, with already making one mistake, the ball just deflected off him. It's not the easiest shot, I will be honest. Like, it's not like catastrophic, but you really need to make sure that this week you are spot on. And both goals, you could say, was quite comfortably Onana having a hand in it. So it's 2-2, and then Onana, of course, got more attention. And today, against Newcastle United, he's no longer even in the squad. Now, this is used as ammo for a reason of trying to protect him. He's had a very, very busy week, a very hectic week, and mentally, he may be also facing the damages of that as well. Onana has played every single Premier League game for United since joining them, all 69 of them, every single minute. So it's seen as it's resting him. In football, your goalkeeper has to be the most reliable person in the team. Has to be. Like, more than anyone else. Goalkeepers, honestly, I feel bad for goalkeepers, because if a striker makes a mistake and they don't score a goal one-on-one or something, or they miss an open goal, people may be a bit annoyed at them, but like, they're gonna forget quite easily, pretty fast. A goalkeeper makes a mistake and then like, that's you done, mate. And last year, Onana was a major component in the complete failure of a Champions League campaign last season. And he's, again, probably another mistake away from another failure European campaign this year. And I remember when they had David De Gea, the compilations that was like an hour or two long about David De Gea that fans made. Somehow, United fans made compilations about their own goalkeeper failing. This is the thing, because of what's happening with Onana, people are now having this revisionism on De Gea. And I don't think that's ideally fair. Like, don't get me wrong, Onana may not be the answer at Manchester United. He may not have the consistency to be an elite goalkeeper, elite level that wants to win leagues and to win the big competitions. He may be a good goalkeeper. It may not be elite to get to the top level. Onana may not be the answer, but De Gea wasn't the answer either. Some will say that David De Gea in that 22-23 year was arguably worse than what Onana was in terms of just making consistent mistakes. 17-18 De Gea was probably the best De Gea that we got. He was incredible. But at the end of it, it was time. So people are saying that they should have not have let David De Gea go. De Gea was a complete disaster. So that needs to be remembered here. So tell me kind of, where do you stand with this? Because I am getting quite tired of seeing some United fans that act like De Gea is like some hero, because I remember exactly how Twitter was like when De Gea was there. But Onana clearly isn't the answer. He may have some good moments. He has some character. I like him. I really do, because you kind of want your keeper to have. I remember seeing clips of him for United, or even at Cameroon, when like there's a free kick almost directly outside the box, and there's just Onana like 25 yards out from where they're shooting at. He's just there talking to the attackers. I find that crazy. So he's a funny guy. He's got personality, which is what you want from your goalkeeper, but he's just not consistent enough. And you cannot have that for your goalkeeper. And now that he's dropped for Newcastle, he may come back against Lyon. His resale value is going to drop. That's the main thing. He's now been dropped. His resale value, if they do want to let him go, will now diminish. So it's a big call to do this. So yeah, man, it's a shame. It's probably over for him. Who would they bring in United for? This, it's like right now, the main issue with United is that they don't have a consistent number 9 or a consistent number 1. So of course they're going to fail. Of course. So comment about your thoughts, and I'll see you boys next time. See ya.